is up, everyone? Welcome back to the PMR Podcast Holiday Special, Episode 19. My name is Steve-O.
What's good, Steve-O? My name is Mitch. I'm an alcoholic addict.
What up, boys? My name is Andrew. I'm an addict and an alcoholic. Welcome back.
Welcome back for sure. And this is a special one. This is our holiday episode. It's dropping a day after Christmas this year. And we wanted to jump on real quick. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, but we wanted to come on with the whole PMR team, Andrew, Steve-O, and I. And just we wanted to we were thinking about it and thinking that what could we do for this episode, and something that I started doing a couple months ago when my sponsor introduced it to me when I was struggling a little bit was a gratitude list. And basically what that is you write down 10 things that you're currently grateful for. And it's very beneficial. I think that it kind of helps to ground you in a way, and it also sharing it with someone else. Because I would share with my sponsor every day for a couple of weeks, and I don't know, it really helps to put things into perspective, and especially when our minds might be thinking about this, that, and the other during the holiday season. I think it's a good tool to utilize.
Yeah, I mean, gratitude is a complete frame shift for the addict, right? Like going from resentment to gratitude is a 180-degree turn. Um, I've been doing the same. Sometimes if I could tell I'm in a bad headspace when I can't get those 10, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it feels really good when I start to kind of expand what I mean by gratitude, and I think we'll be talking a little bit about that this episode. Besides some of the run-of-the-mill stuff for me, um, you know, thinking with gratitude about challenges that I've faced or about things that, I might have previously thought were, problems or obstacles to me, um, getting my way or having what I want or imagined would happen. Um, so I don't know. It's kind of cool how gratitude has changed over the course of the last 19 months for me. But I'm excited for this episode, and as always, I love when Steve-O comes on because it's the full team, baby.
Yes, sir. The
Um,
full team. Yeah, I
mhm.
completely agree with you. And just to jump right into it, we as a little homework for everyone, we had our gratitude list today before we started record, and we asked Steve-O to jump us off.
Yeah, I'll lead it off. I will say, so I don't know that I've ever just sat down and made a gratitude list before. It is not easy. It was kind
Yeah,
of hard. Like
yeah,
two or three of them, you're quick, like, oh yeah, this is easy, this is easy. And then you start to
Mm.
really think. And I feel like it kind of uncovers a lot of things that you might take for granted sometimes, and it just puts it right back in frame. So I'm going to try and do these more often now. But
yeah.
my gratitude list, 10 points, 10. Starting with number one, I said friends and family who support me in my endeavors and celebrate my accomplishments with me.
Hey,
Uh, we, I'm very fortunate to be surrounded by people who just give me energy and power to do the things that I want to do. And when I accomplish those things, they just want to celebrate with me. And I'd want to celebrate with them too. Number two, ability to exercise, which allows me to better myself mentally and physically every day. Um, I'm in a fortunate place where I've built my daily routine how I want, and being able to exercise every day has just been really good for me mentally and physically, and I'm really grateful for that. Number three, I said learning from mistakes to help me and people around me grow. So obviously everyone makes mistakes, and with our last episode, we got the intro song got flagged, and we figured out that we had made a mistake with uh, basically copywriting or having the rights to music, which I did produce the song, so I don't know what YouTube's on about, but we were not ironclad. Anyways, it was a mistake that we learned from. We got past it, and that mistake will not happen again. And so being able to learn from mistakes is something that I'm really grateful for. Having a home and warm bed to, this is number 4, having a home and warm bed to go to after a tough day. Just having a place, having your comfortable spot where you can go at the end of a rough day, decompress and get ready to get back at it the next day, is something that I'm incredibly grateful for. And I know not all people have that. So that's something that I'm grateful for, and I try not to take it for granted. Number 5, I said living in a safe and supportive community. So I'm really grateful that I can live in a place where there's not a lot of crime. Um, I don't have to walk around, constantly checking over my shoulder, being scared. And people that I run into, they're very nice, very supportive, and so I'm grateful for that. Number 6, a mentally stimulating, challenging, and rewarding job. So I'm really grateful for the job that I stumbled myself into a few years ago, and I love that it challenges me every day, keeps me motivated, it keeps my mind active, and it just I could see all these different paths that it can take me, and uh, again, yeah, I know not everyone has that, so I'm very grateful for that. 7, getting to decide what I eat for dinner every night. So, that there are some days where if it's kind of a longer day at work and I don't really feel like making dinner or anything, it's nice being able to say, oh, I'm just gonna pick up Chipotle on the way home, or I'm gonna pick up this food that I've been kind of craving. Uh, that's another one of those things that not everyone gets to do all the time, and so I'm really grateful for that. I feel weird saying I'm great. I'm obviously grateful for all these things, so I feel weird saying great. I feel grateful for that after every one of these. But number 8, experiences and opportunities that have allowed me to grow and change myself into the person that I want to be. So, um, I it's been very cool, and I've kind of noticed this a lot over the past year or two, where I've kind of pictured what I want to be, like who I want to be as a person, and putting myself in situations and opportunity, like getting myself opportunities that allow me to turn into that person. So one of those things is working out early in the morning every day. Like that's something that I wanted for myself, and I just challenged myself, and I was able to get the opportunity to do that now. Like that's just part of my daily routine. Number 9, kindness of others. So not every person you meet on the street is going to be kind. Um, some people are kind of mean, but when you do experience kindness, I think it's important to acknowledge it and cherish it, because it seems rare sometimes that you just meet a random person and they're really kind and they'll do anything to help you. So I'm grateful for those situations where you meet someone, they're kind, helpful if you need it. And number 10, I'm just grateful to be alive. We all have a very finite amount of time on this planet. And so I'm grateful that I got to spend today on Earth, and hopefully I get to spend tomorrow too. But those are the 10 things that I'm grateful for. And that's my gratitude list.
That was beautiful, Steve-O.
Thanks,
I,
man.
I tried to keep up and write stuff down. I think there are some similarities um, with mine, but it's true. Like it's easy for me to say when you first started and you were just kind of prefacing it with like this was kind of hard. It is hard. It's hard for me, and I've been trying to do it for a little while, but by no means is it easy for me to do this. I think one for me from you that really kind of stood out is that last one. Like you're
Yeah.
just grateful to be alive. Like, and that's a simple one. And that's one that like somebody who wasn't really examining what that really means, like might say, oh, like that's easy to say you're grateful for or whatever. But like that's I think when you actually examine it, like there are so many opportunities and like circumstances that had to happen for us to be where we're like where we're at right now, just breathing.
Oh
Like
yeah.
everything else, like especially for people like Mitch and I, and for anyone who struggles in any way, which means everybody on earth, like everything on top of just being alive and breathing today is gravy. Like if I'm alive and I'm breathing today, then I'm winning.
Yep.
And I think I forget about that a lot. And I think you kind of just kicked my ass back into shape a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I just thought about you said it so simply, I'm grateful to be alive today. And I don't know, it was beautiful. But Mitch, what did you think?
I thought it was dope, especially since like I was thinking as he was going that we didn't give him any like direction at all. I was just like, hey, show up with a gratitude list. And I was thinking about telling him like a little bit about it, but there's really not that much to tell for one. And for two, I was confident in him like, being able to it's not that I mean, it's just like I thought that was beautiful too. Like uh and of course, like thought like as you were going, I was like, damn, I wish I would have thought of that. Because that's just how I am.
Same.
But yeah, that was really good, Stevo. And I think that you speaking on like wanting to put that into practice more and stuff like that is I think you'll see like the benefits from it. I know I did when I was doing it every single day. It kind of brings you into a place where it's like if you're tripping off something, it's like, can I really be? Like, can I
Yeah.
really be this upset about this, that, and the other when I have a list of 10 things that I'm blessed to even have an opportunity to,
Mm.
like, I'm blessed to even have an opportunity to be grateful for that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. But yeah, thank you for sharing that with us.
No, dude, my pleasure. Yeah, I mean, even this list, just putting it together today, it forces you to dig deep a little bit, which I think is good. Challenges come with rewards. So I
All right.
I will try to do this more often. Maybe a once a month kind of thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then just do it as like a month recap. I kind of like that
Yeah. That'd be
idea.
dope.
Yeah, man.
All right,
So
I,
Andy.
I also liked how you zeroed in on like the stuff we take for granted. Like especially like a warm bed in a home to go home to like
yeah,
after a tough day. And the I laughed, but it's true, like the you have the choice to choose what you have for like what you make or have for dinner. Like I don't know, just those two stood out to me as like, oh, these are things that I take for granted. Like
yeah,
the freedom of choice and like a sanctuary as a home. Like when the day on the outside has battered me and I'm out of energy and I'm at my wit's end, like I have the privilege of coming home to like a loving home and a warm bed and a comfortable place to rest. And it's just, yeah, it's something you just put in perspective for me. So thank you, Steve-O.
dude, my pleasure, man.
All right, Captain Andrew.
I'm certainly not a captain, your captain, or any sort of captain, but I do have a gratitude list per my homework from Mitch. Um, yeah, number one for me is simple. It's just love and support and understanding from family and friends, and a system of family and friends that understands where I'm at and allows me to grow. Um, Living with my family it's not easy to live with me all the time. I'm can be difficult. I get angry, I get uptight because they could tell when I haven't been to a meeting in too long. Um, it's just not easy to live with me all the time. And it's not like, oh, they put up with me or anything, but no, they engage and they want to be educated on the disease of alcoholism, and they also just there's a group of people, family and friends who have been with me through the worst of it, and hopefully they get to be with me through the best of it too. Um, so that's number one. Number two is a specific subset of people. That would be Sage. He's my breathwork instructor and my recovery coach. And John. John is my AA sponsor. So these are two guys who are like mentors to me. They are mentors to me. Sage, he's got 6, 7 years of sobriety. He runs a gym. He's all in this personal fitness type of, lifestyle and mind body connection. And he showed me breath work and he certified me as an instructor and blah blah blah. Down the line, and it's like one of those things like in AA, right? Like I want what he has, right? And so I'm grateful for him this year, especially for pushing me to kind of work towards that. And John, of course, I mean, Mitch, you know what it's like having a sponsor who you jive with. Just being able to go to him with my bullshit has been huge through this year. And realizing I'm not an alien when I talk to him, and he kind of chuckles and he says, "Me too." Um, I'm grateful that there is a program of recovery for me. That's number three. For me, that's AA. For others, it's NA or Refuge or whatever it may be. For me, it's AA. I'm grateful that there's a place that I can go every single night if I want to, or day or morning or whatever it is. And there'll be a group of people like me and a pot of coffee and some chairs, and we can sit down and just talk about what the hell is going on with us. Talk about the disease and talk about a solution. Um, that is something I do take for granted. Because sometimes I'm like, I don't want to go to a meeting, or like I'd rather do this, or I'd rather go hang out with friends or whatever it may be. But just like thinking about that concept, like for free, there's a group of people at almost any given time that I could find within a 20-minute drive to sit down and just listen and talk about this disease. So that's number three for me. Four is self-care habits. I've learned a lot this year in terms of self-care. I've kind of upped my game with yoga. I have some great instructors. Um, I try to do yoga all the time, 4 days a week. I don't look like the most flexible dude out there, and it's not pretty watching me in the studio, but um, I really enjoy it. It's like a massive release and a meditation for me. Along with that is just obviously like working out. See that I don't get up at um, but having a workout regimen is huge for me. I'm grateful that like the gym is there and there are workouts for me to do that have either been prepared for me or that I can find, and I'm grateful that I have the energy to do it today and through this year. And the other thing along with that self-care is breath work. I still got to do a session with you guys, get you guys hooked on that. But like, you know, one of the biggest cheat codes that I've found in terms of calming down the alcoholic brain, the monkey kind of, hamster wheel, disaster brain. Um, that leads into number five, which is I really just an extra second. I'm grateful for an extra second to think today. Like I used to react, um, and I used to be like, oh, very, very emotional, angry, reactionary with everything that I said, everything that I did. And because people have taught me things, because I've tried to learn from people wiser than um, I have an extra second to think before I react today. An extra second to process things, to think about what I'm going to say, to think about how this might affect others. Um, and I mean, that's been huge for me, because being aggressive, being emotional was one of my worst kind of vices. Um, 6 is having Heron Wellness as a job. I don't need to go into that too much. You guys know how grateful I am for that. Like, just working in a recovery setting has been amazing for me. And it just reinforces why I'm on this journey. 7 is just kind of largely my relationship with nature slash my higher power. It's grown and changed this year. I'm not scared to call my higher power God anymore, which is nice. Um, being humbled in that way. And spending time out, whether it's in, hiking in New Hampshire or in Colorado or getting out in the ocean. It just brings me a lot of peace. So I'm grateful for all those times, and I'm grateful that there's still some untouched, undisturbed, pristine nature out there. Um, 8 is my mistakes. They've afforded my growth. They've come as precursors to my growth. I made a lot of mistakes this year, whether it be jobs or living situations or overextending myself, nobody else's fault but my own. But because of that, because of those mistakes, it's shown me how going forward, I don't want to do things. And they've been opportunities for growth and change. So I'm grateful for those mistakes. 9 is um, prayer and quiet. My mind is a very loud place. Um, and I'm grateful this year and today. I'm grateful that I do take that little bit of time every morning to sit quietly, to talk to the God as I understand it. And um, I don't know, like the day is loud, like it's full of activity, and it's sometimes very difficult to just find a little bit of quiet. And that time in the morning has been very special to me. So I'm definitely grateful for that. And number 10 is, I wish I had something as profound as Steve-O, just being alive. But 10 for me is the opportunity to keep learning, and to grow more humbly. Um, Ego is my enemy. Ego's always been my enemy. And this year I have been and want to continue through the next year and into infinity and beyond, to be a person who values humility in myself. I I always saw it as a weakness, and that perception is changing in me. I have a lot to learn from others. I have a lot to learn from situations I've been in. I'm discovering I'm not the wisest in the room really at any time, and I think that's a strength for me. So growing in that humility is definitely a point of gratitude, because it's brought me a lot of peace. So I'd like to continue to do that. But that's it for me, fellas.
Hell yeah. That was sick, bro. I fucking always love when you say when we talk about our sponsors and how it's like having someone else that can say me too back to me.
Mm.
I love when you first said that one time, and I was like, yeah, that's like, I just love how simple that is. Just hearing a me too back. That's all we really need, is that validation in that way. But yeah, bro, that was beautiful too, because I think I always trip out off the grateful gratitude list, because it's like can you imagine reading this to yourself when you were like in active addiction, for one, and for two, like Steve-O, could you imagine reading this to yourself? I don't know, like 5 years ago, would you think to be doing a gratitude list? So it is kind of like it's a cool thing and a cool moment for us. I feel like right now specifically because it's like we got three guys on here sharing what they're grateful for. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mitch.
I was gonna say, so it seemed like 1 through 9 were sort of reflections almost on the things that you've learned and grown from in the past year. Because there's something I've been kind of noticing recently is how much changes in 1 year. You don't feel all that different, but I mean even the gratitude list kind of highlights this. A lot of things change in 1 year.
Oh yeah.
Like everyone's growing in different ways in different paths, and it's always interesting looking back on that. So I felt like your 1 through 9 like really highlighted all the things that you really learned about yourself in the past year or so. And then your number 10 was almost it. I would almost reframe it as a gratitude for the future and the opportunities that come with it,
Mm.
which I think is really cool. Just a really cool concept. And then the other thing that stood out was you talking about uh, realizing that you're not the wisest person in the room. But the way I like to think about it is, although you're not right now, there's one day where someone's going to be looking at you, and you are going to be the wisest person in the room. And so when you meet someone wiser than you, you just got to absorb everything that they can to become that wise person, because someday that will be you. So yeah, I thought that was, I mean, great list. I like it.
Well said, Steve-O. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Yeah.
clean up batter, Mitchy.
I might wear this all day. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna run through my gratitude list as well. And I might have something to say off of them. I might not, but the way I ran it with my sponsor, we kind of just ripped them. So my gratitude list. All right, I am grateful for my sobriety today. I am grateful for my new job where I can be of service daily to other people struggling with addiction and mental health. I'm grateful for seeing my higher power in others. That's been a huge one for me this year. It's kind of like, and I was talking about this in the meeting on Tuesday. If I can see my higher power in others, you really can never trip. You just can't. I am grateful for my relationships with my mom, my grandmother, my uncle, my cousins, and my friends. Tried to get all the people that have supported me throughout my whole life and my sobriety, tried to get them all into one, because I truly could not be anywhere close to where I'm at without them. I mean, bro, I see my friends as family. I've said that to Steve-O and said that to you, Andrew, and even like my boys from Baltimore, my boys from Denison. I mean, I'm not gonna name drop, but they know who they are, and like grateful doesn't even come close to the feeling. You know what I mean? I can't even find a word that would describe how I feel about those guys. And in terms of my mom and grandmother and my uncle and cousins, I've through sobriety and through getting clean, I've been gifted the opportunity to restore those relationships, grow those relationships. And bro, can't ask for anything more than that, to be honest. Moving right along, I am similar to Andrew. I'm grateful for my sponsor. I think we both understand that relationship, that it's very much a family relationship in some ways, and in other ways it's very much an indescribable one. I think that my sponsor, bro, I mean, he was just a gift from above for me, just how our personalities interact and the way he goes about things. He has chilled out a seemingly unchillable person. Similar to Steve-O, I said that I'm grateful for my health. I never really have had too many health problems, and I never really acknowledged that. But as I'm getting older, my back's starting to hurt, my knees starting to hurt. I'm grateful to be overall healthy person, able to go to the gym, able to walk around and get it. Next one. I am grateful for my higher power and my trust in them. Yeah, bro. I think this last year and these last couple months, my higher power, similar to a previous one, seeing my higher power in others, and then my higher power, just trusting in that and releasing my self will, bro. That's like opened up my entire life, to be honest. And it feels good to be not. I'll tell you this: it feels good to not be driving, which is a trip because I always thought I was supposed to be the one doing that. I'm grateful for y'all. I'm grateful for the PMR podcast team. I think that we're doing something that's fucking sick, and if it helps anyone, it helps me. And I know that it's like I'm so grateful that I could get you two guys on and like be able to rip something like this every week. And bro, I just look forward to this every single week, and I love talking with y'all, and just, I mean, it's just strengthened my recovery in a way that I never thought it would. And just hearing, feedback here and there from people, it's I think it has a potential to help and touch a lot of people. I really do. All right, and then my last two would be as soon as a Hellcat burned out outside my house. I am grateful for all those in and out of recovery. Oh man, it's a wood chipper. But everyone, like, I think like it just like in and out. When I say that in and out of recovery, it's like grateful that people that could find that message, and grateful for the people that are outside of it that may be pondering it. You know what I mean? Because that's all it takes really is that first seed. And then finally, I'm grateful for today and this very moment, and to be doing this with y'all. Really, just like nothing too crazy. I think on mine, I just try to keep it simple.
I like
Thank you, brother.
simplicity. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
One I really liked, well, two I really liked from you is I feel like I've been a little bit part of that journey with you, with the higher power. Like I've seen a change in you with you like taking suggestions from your sponsor and like hitting your knees and like going to that men's meeting and like talking about this shit. And like you have inspired me too to like re-examine like what is my relationship with my higher power, like what does that look like. And um I think that gratitude, the fact that you have something to do with your conception of God, like in your gratitude list twice, just goes to show like a lot of the growth that has happened for you. So I don't know, man. That's an amazing like part of it. I think even like a year ago, I mean, for me, even a year ago, me being sober, like me having anything about prayer and my gratitude list, I would have laughed at you.
Yeah.
And I think you might have done the same with if I told you you'd have two parts of your gratitude list concerned with a higher power. So thank you, brother. That was awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would say so. The thing that stood out to me the most, I believe, was your fourth point, the family relationships. Um, so you're talking about finding the word that describes how grateful you are for the people in your life, and I think family is a really powerful word. Like family is probably the most powerful word
Facts, bro.
you could give. If your family was someone like you're ride or die, anything goes. So I think family alone is just a powerful enough word to express your amount of gratitude for someone, I feel like.
Yeah, that's a good
But
point, bro.
yeah, I like how concise all of your points were. And I can tell that you've made a handful of these before. You just rifled them off. Yeah, man. I don't have much else to say. I mean, I think we all have a lot of things to be grateful for, and I'm glad we were able to find,
Yeah,
10 things.
definitely. And I think the point, the reason I was thinking about doing this and everything is it's just a tool, bro. It's a tool for each of us and our recovery and for you, Steve-O, just in your life in general, and especially when
Absolutely.
things are spinning out. I was like, what could we do that could fucking help someone that's struggling right now with the holiday season? And I was like, well, fuck it, let's rip a gratitude list. Maybe someone will try one, you feel me, or something like that. So, and
Yeah.
I think in terms of a message for Christmas and stuff, like it can feel very isolating, and you could isolate yourself, and that's really hard. But I would challenge you as a listener and myself in general to try to do something, try to be of service on that day if that's a hard day for you. And going into New Year's, I think being of service and getting out of your own head, helping others, is a really good way to combat that feeling of isolation and whatever it's bringing up.
Yep.
I couldn't agree more. This is a tough time for a lot of people, not, people like us, right? Alcoholics, but not just us, like for anybody. I think one thing to consider for people like us is if AA is something you're interested in, there's a lot of alcothons today on Christmas and New Year's. That's a 24-hour meeting that just continues to go. Every hour there's a new speaker, a new set of people coming in to talk. So reach out to your network. I know I'm going to be leaning on the program heavy for the next week and a half. There's no shame in it, right? And if you have to leave a family gathering to get a meeting or to see another alcoholic, like do it. Like I got to do it. And what I explained to my family is, would you rather have me at full capacity, like operating on at 100%, but missing an hour here or there because I need to go to a meeting, or would you rather have me uptight and out of control and potentially in a dangerous bad situation, and not go to the meeting? They families generally, in my experience, will understand that. But I love this idea, Mitch, this gratitude list. And I think Steve-O goes to show too, like even for regular humans, gratitude lists, like they serve a purpose. They're a strength. They're a fruitful exercise. So yeah, man, this has been awesome.
Very awesome. Thank you, Steve-O, for coming on. Appreciate you. We got to get as much camera time for you as we can. Get that pretty face on here.
My pleasure, man. Thanks.
But can't thank you enough in general too, bro, because all Andrew and I do is come on here and fucking blah 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 blah. But you fucking hold it down crazy with the fucking editing it up, mixing the music, all that stuff, bro. I peeped the new font on this most recent one. Appreciate you so much, bro. I mean, I can't even explain it. So, and we're sending this to you right after.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Comes right back. Man, no, it's fun. I love it. I love being a part of it. I think you guys are doing something great, and it makes me feel good to help out any way that I can.
You're a special person.
I love you guys, man. This has been awesome. This whole experience.
Love y'all too. All right, well, episode 19, all done. Keep coming back, and hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season.
Keep coming back. Love you guys.
Love you.